Hey YouTube. As you can see, I am no longer playing Fantasy War Tactics. I am now playing this. I'll probably get bored of it pretty quick because I kind of want to move on to the Fire Emblem game that Nintendo just released. But this game is actually pretty fun. So if you're a fan of the franchise, buckle in. I'm going to be doing kind of an in-depth, almost like a first look likey review. But I've been playing it nonstop for like a week and a half now. So just want to share basically what I've learned about the game. So if you're new to the game, the first thing you gotta know is that it's very free to play friendly, um, and you really have to ignore basically everything in terms of tier lists online. The tier lists are basically based off of all the Japanese games information. I'll show you how the purchasing system works. First off, it's localized pricing, so it will show you the price for your region. So if you're applying not in the United States, you don't have to worry about conversions if you're doing things like that. But basically, you get heroes like this, you get weapons like this, armor and accessories you can get through events and stuff. But for the most part, this is how the weapons are acquired. The premium currency is very easy to acquire just through regular farming. They're very generous with giveaways. So I really and the rates are actually shown, so you can see the rates if you just click on the weapons and rates and things like that. So it'll tell you that you have to get a 4-star rarity, which is the highest, you have a 4% chance. Now, the big difference between the weapons is things that are naturally 4 stars can be upgraded to 5-star. It's impractical to think that you would be able to do it without having a thick wallet, but um, because of the nature of upgrade, and I'll get into that later. But for the most part, 4-star weapons are the best weapons. Um, but 3-star and 2-star weapons can get up to 4-star as well. But for the most part, these are the ones. If you have the screen selected for whatever it is, so if you're going to scout for heroes, then you have this screen selected. These 3 heroes that are displayed have a slightly higher rate than normal. So just keep that in mind if you are going to be scouting. Um, but right now, for the most part, people are just doing whatever. Um, like I said, you can get quite a lot of free currency. Currently, there are 2 heroes that are 4-star that are not really 4-star, but they are. That have been given away for free. One is just about to come to an end with the current event, and the other one, I believe, you can, if you just start the game, you get her for free. So I'll show you those characters. That is this Asuna right here that uses the dagger. She's given to you for free. And this Kirito, you can acquire everything in the event, and you could even get him to level 100, which is sort of a big deal, but not really. The reason that it's a big deal is because getting to level 100 is very difficult unless you're paying an extremely large amount of money for the game. Um, because you have to unlock your levels from 80 to 85 to 90 to 95 to 100, and it's an obscene amount that like in terms of investment to return, it's very imbalanced there. But it's not necessary either. Like you don't need to be level 100 to do anything. But the reason why this is kind of the sort of situation is because this hero stats, even as a 4-star, because he's an event, so they just made him 4-star, his stats really don't stack up well. For example, he's level 100, these stats are good. Um, and my level 85 hero, who is a natural 4-star, has higher stats in everything. So just to give you the idea there. Uh, but the way that the character system works, basically, if you have a 1-star hero, this is your Pikachu. This is what you start out with. Um, unless you get extra event heroes or anything else, you also get 1 free pull. I've heard that you can reinstall the game if you don't like your first pull before you link your account, which is linked to your device. And you can keep pulling to see it until you get like a rare spawn. So if you want to take the time to do that, go right ahead. But 1-star heroes max at 50, 2-star heroes max at 60, 3-star heroes max at 70, and 4-star heroes max at 80. So because they can level up higher, their stats are just naturally higher. So if you're looking up tier lists and stuff for heroes, for the most part, only attention is given to 4-star heroes. The other thing that's kind of annoying is the heroes that are for like holiday events like Christmas or Valentine's Day seem to, by the what's released by the Japanese game, the Japanese version, they seem to be way higher than the actual standard characters. Daggers in this game are very overpowered compared to other weapon types because mana regeneration is based off of attacks hit. So daggers generally are they're the DPS class, and they really charge their mana fast, and they can just spam skills a heck of a lot. I think Silica is considered the best character in the game right now, which sucks, but because I don't have a 4-star Silica, but whatever. And my only dagger wielder is the free 4-star hero who has absolutely terrible stats. So let's talk about how your stats are done. So you get a bonus from leveling up, and then you have this unlock attribute system, which is basically like a little spirit grid. Now, through the unlock attribute system, you can pay as soon as you get to a certain level. I'll go to a level 1 here so you can kind of see what it looks like. And you can unlock your way all the way to level 80 or 70 or 60 or 50, depending on the star level of the character. This section and lower is the limit break. So you need 50 of these gems to get your max level up 5, and then you need 50, and then you need 50 again, and then you need 50 again. So you need 200 of the damn things, and I'll explain the nature of how you get them later. But just keep in mind that it's a wallet heavy thing, not a fair thing. But you get these materials that correspond to the different stats, and when you get enough, you can unlock the next level, so long as your actual level is increased to that point in time. So I'll go to level 1 hero, just so you have an idea. So this is what it looks like at level 1. You can unlock the first ones right to you. Then when you get to level 10, you can unlock this with a key. You get these items very frequently. They're not locked behind any kind of paywalls or anything like that. Then you can keep unlocking. As you get to your levels higher, you can unlock more stats to be increased as extras. So you have your level ups, and then you have your unlock attributes. And that's basically what gives your character all of his stats. Next is your equipment, of course, because they have weapons and so on in the game. So you have your weapon, your armor, and your accessory. Now, you may notice that they have these symbols. As you can see over on my weapon there, it's got a blue symbol where the dual blades are, and I also have a blue symbol beside my hero. That is the hero's element. The color corresponds to a certain element. So if your element, for in this case water, element corresponds with your weapon or your armor or your accessory, you gain more stats from that item. To give you an idea here, these are both, let me just take this off for a second. This armor and this armor, we'll use those two. All right, so this armor right here is a 2-star, and it gives me, well, just the item itself gives 365 HP, 68 defense, but it actually gives me, if you just take a look at the numbers here, it gives me, it does give me exactly what it says, but this one right here, which is the same element as me, 400 and 102, if you just watch the numbers go up, goes up more than 400. Because if your element corresponds with your gear to the hero type, you get a stat bonus for that. I'm actually working on one of these to get it up to 4-star right now. I'm just a couple pieces away from being able to do it. And then I'm going to be switching out this Code of Midnight that I got. I farmed the crap out of these during a previous event, and I was able to get it up to 4-star. It gives a pretty decent chunk of stats, but because it's not corresponding to my element, I want to switch it up for this water one because it just gives me more stats. Elements are decent if the enemy is weak against you. Currently, there's an event right now, 2 events right now actually, that are both weak to water. I think they're doing that deliberately to correspond to all the water types they're releasing so they can kind of hike their sales. But every element will have their time to shine. Each character learns 3 skills. So if you just take a look at your characters here, over in the sword skill, it says they're different skills. You have to unlock the third skill. They don't naturally come with it. You get it later on when you level up, and in your unlock attributes, you can get skill things. The yellow gems are the skill gems. Like I said before, all the different gem colors correspond to a different stat, and skills are one of them. Now, the weapons and characters aside, the actual combat is fairly fairly fun. They're quick, short burst um, dungeons, and it's generally just a bunch of rewards and stuff all the time. You're constantly getting flooded with stuff. Um, every day of the week, they have a certain color of gem that they're giving away, so you can kind of focus on that gem to raise your stats in the unlock attributes. I do want to draw some attention to some of the story missions that are actually better. For example, this is what you would play to get a decent amount of blue gems. So I'm going to play just this one right through because it's fairly easy. These are, I think they're only level 70 dungeons, so they're actually pretty easy to go through. But I'll just show you what you get and kind of what you play, what the rewards are, and so on. And then I'm going to show you something else, and it corresponds to all the other elements, and you don't have to wait a certain day of the week to get whatever it is. Now, I won't go into detail of the combat in this game because I don't want to kind of ruin the explanation. The tutorials and stuff that you do right when you get in kind of explain that well enough. But being able to parry attacks and switching in and out are pretty fun mechanics. And for the most part, it's just a tapper. All right, so just like that, we have some rewards. It did take more than 35 seconds. The timer just stops when you clear a map. So every time you clear a section, the timer freezes. So you only lose time because clearing under a certain time gives you a higher rank. So they don't waste your time like that. So for doing that, I got 14 MP shards, 8 crystals, and 2 holy crystals. Now what's nice about the days is the rewards you get are all also MP crystals. So you can kind of double down on some of them. Now, what makes that a somewhat inefficient way to farm the crystals in a lot of cases is, one, it's a day specific thing. So these are Wednesday specific crystals. Now over in the main quest, if you can get past the SAO saga and into the AOL, all of all of the ALO missions correspond with a particular element. As you can see, if it says 3 out of 3, there's 3 for each one. So when it says 3 out of 3 here and 15 out of 15, it's actually just one mission here and 5 missions there. And all 6 of the total missions for this section correspond with an element. And now I want to do this one because this gives you the attack crystals, which is arguably the most important. And I'm just going to show you just how easy it is to get some of these things. This one and the skill crystals are my favorite ones to farm because they're both single maps, and I think my record for the other one is 3 seconds, where this one is already over. I've done this one in 1 second before, and that's it. And just like that, I've got 12, 10, and 2 of the three different types of the attack crystals. So it's really just that easy. If you can get to a certain point in the progression of the story, you don't have to wait for the day of the crystals because all of these 6 missions correspond with a different one. And if you want more, what's nice about this is you can kind of mix it up and get different rewards. You also can get XP potions in both the daily farms as well as these. They're a little bit more random. The only thing that I've noticed with using this method to gain like a mass crystal farm is that in this map, which is just slightly longer, if things line up, there's 3 enemies on this, and one of them he doesn't actually die. You just get him down to 0, and then it stops the map. But if you kill him before the other 2, then you won't get the reward, I don't believe. Yeah. So if they all line up nicely, because there's 3 of them, it's a little bit different. But if they were to all line up nicely, I could do that in 3 seconds. Oh, also you can hit, when you're repeating things like this, you can skip the animations before you start. I forgot to hit skip animations. But that one right there gives skill shards. So 12, 10, and 2 for the skill shards. So some of these missions are a heck of a lot easier than the actual farming, and you can do them every day of the week. So it makes really getting your unlock attributes done really, really quick. Okay, so what have we done so far? We've done weapons, characters, elements, unlock attributes, equipment. Let's go over the upgrading for the equipment then. I kind of want to blast off everything in one video because I don't think I'm going to be doing a ton of videos on this game. In the shop here, the upgrading, it's very simple. It's fairly self-explanatory. When you take a piece and you upgrade it, it costs you both money and crystals. Now, the crystals correspond to whatever stat each weapon is generally known for. For example, if I go over to daggers, these are using the critical crystals instead of the attack crystals. And if I go to a bow, these are using, I think also the critical crystals. Sorry, wrong weapon. Bow, dual blade. What uses defense crystals? No, that's armor uses defense crystals. Maybe it's just attack and critical for these ones. I think mana maybe for the weapons. Yeah, and mana crystals for these. Yeah, there is magic in this game. I got all these sweet magic wands, and I don't have any 4 stars to use them. It's terrible. Anyway, but you just enhance that to max. Now, once you have a thing that's enhanced to max, like this is enhanced to the max for its star type, you can go into the evolution. Now, what you need for the evolution is whatever the star level is, you need that many of the same type of item plus the one that you have upgraded to the max level. So a 3-star can get up to level 30, a 2-star can get up to level 20. Like very, very self-explanatory. It's basically the same kind of system that they have for the characters with the level separation based off star level. Now, what's nice about the weapons is you can actually change their star level. However, only the 4-star weapons, as you can see here, can be changed to a 5-star. The 3-star weapons max out at 4-star. The 2-star weapons also max out at 4-star. If you're wondering, I just don't have any that are maxed out right now. But like as you can see here, I can go for the materials that needed. It says needed 4 more. Needed 4 select materials. The select materials are the exacts of this weapon type. For example, if I go into here, I need 3 of these, and I've only got 2 right now, so I can't do it. And once you do that, you'll get up to the next star level for the evolution of your equipment, and that will allow you to get it to a higher potential. As you can see right now, my current max HP in this piece is 1645. Current max defense is 418. After it's to 4-star, it goes up actually quite a significant amount compared to the other star levels. So the 3 to 4-star jump is huge. But that is at level 40. it does reset back at level 1. You do have to max it all the way back out again. It does get quite expensive in terms of coal cost as well as the materials. Like, it's kind of a constant farm of the materials until you have at least 3 or 4 full sets of gear for your party. All right. And of course, if you have a bunch of junk, you can just sell it. The money you get for selling it is garbage. I don't recommend selling it unless you really need the inventory space. You can upgrade your inventory space if you run out for five slots, I think, for 5 of the memory diamonds. Okay. One thing I do want to say again, and because I did mention that it's fairly easy to get these crystals. There's a normal and a hard mode. In the normal and hard mode, you get separate clears for all of these things. So where it says completed, 1, 2, 3, those 3 trophies, each of these trophies correspond to a different thing. So achieve rank S or higher, no deaths, defeat all enemies. That's basically what it is for everything, for the most part. It will always be those 3 things. If you do those things, then you will gain a memory crystal for all that. If you complete all 3, you will also gain another 2 memory crystals. So every level that you beat is worth 5 memory crystals. That's the premium currency. This is the same for the SAO, it's the same for the ALO. Now, if you switch over to hard difficulty, you will be able to complete them again on a slightly harder difficulty, which, to be honest, I felt was somewhat more of a joke. I'm still saving these for a rainy day for when I need some crystals. I just have to get a pull off, so I'm keeping these just for later. But for the most part, it was very not hard. Kind of want to explain the extra quests because this is probably going to be the way they keep people busy in the long run, because there's really not that much content out right now, at least here in Global. The extra quests, they will have events like Mission Challenge Campaign, the Burning Caverns, and the Fairy Daughter. Now, these change on a regular basis. As you can see, 5 days left, 4 days left, 6 days left. This is the event right now that will let you get your Fairy Dance Kirito, the free 4-star character who does the stats of a 3-star character. And you get the same thing. All these missions will still all give you the 5 memory crystals if you beat them. Unless they say that they give you more, but at the very least they will all give you the 5 for beating each stage. And you get a bunch of rewards. So after you get event coins, a currency for whatever the event is for each thing, and as soon as you get the points for that event from clearing each stage, you'll get a reward. And if you get strong enough to get to the higher levels, you can start getting, if you get S rank on this, it's worth, I believe, 600, and this one's worth 250. The battle 50, enemy level 50 is typically the easiest one for most people to farm, I think, especially if it's a hard mode. This is a hard mode quest. There are normal mode quests where it's a lot easier to beat the level 80 boss with just a solo team, but the amount of HP that they have in the hard mode level 80s, you kind of need a party to consistently get S rank. It's really difficult to be able to get them down, and they just have so much HP. So it's not really practical to farm the 80 unless you probably have like a level 100 water silica. It's probably not going to be practical for this event, but there will be people, I'm sure, doing it. But for the most part, most people are farming this one to get 250 a level. And I'm already done this event, so I'm not going to actually play any. But I guess I could do a run through the Burning Caverns because I'm still doing this one right now. It's another hard mode, so I'm just going to do the 50 because I don't think I can solo the 80. I really don't want to get into a party right now. Actually, you know what? I will get into a party because then I can show you another way to get crystals. This one is kind of a really annoying way to acquire the memory crystals, to be completely honest, because when somebody joins the party, you need to believe that they're actually able to help you kill the boss. If it's somebody that's bad and they're just wanting to get this thing cleared so they can get their 5 crystals or whatever for getting S rank, they're probably not understanding just how much HP these things have and how long it's going to actually take you guys to kill the boss if they're just too weak to do it. So a lot of people join in the party with crappy characters and they get kicked immediately. But with 3 people, you don't get to bring your companions. Like, you don't get to do your whole party. You can only do a single participant, so make sure that participant does not die. It's nice to have mages because mages they have most, I believe most, if not all of them, have at least one basic healing skill. At least the 4-star ones do. See, this Asuna actually, she can heal. So we could probably do it with just the 2 of us because we just can't die. But it would be nice to have a 3rd. This boss is also fire type, so it's weak against the water, so it'd be sweet. If we can just get another water type, a water silica would be the best thing to join, or another Asuna would be a really nice join. But I'll take that too. Now the way you get more crystals from this is when you run into new people and party with them, and it's the first encounter that you have with them. Oh wow, fail. The makers of the game have decided that that's good enough reason to give you crystals. So you run into somebody for the first time, you play pickup group parties, you wait around, they give you a couple of crystals. So it's probably a little bit slower to have to wait for your party than to just go out and start smashing face and getting the event points continuously, just lower amounts without having to wait. But you can get memory crystals at the same time as this. Well, I'm just going to use this. Oh my goodness. Apparently this boss is a huge troll. There we go. My Skill Connect Kirito is considered a low tier hero, believe it or not, because his skill takes too long. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. What's nice about it is it usually... this boss is so annoying. What's nice about it is I can start a huge chain, and usually the boss gets frozen in place when I'm attacking like he is right now, where he can't move, so everybody else can unload. Is this Asuna not going to heal at all? There we go. But if I have the boss frozen in place, then everybody else can use their skills, charge up their mana, start a huge combo. If you get the hits, see it says 15 hit, every 10 hits it goes up 5% more damage taken. So if somebody can keep the combo going, we can get our skill damage way through the roof. And we just got a 3-star accessory, so that's awesome. I need that so badly. I believe S rank clear on this is 2 minutes. It's usually 1:30. I don't want to waste any follow slots. The following system is the friend system in this. So if somebody follows you, you don't have to follow them. So people can have you as a thing, but you don't have to. Oh, did it give me my crystals? Okay. I wonder if I'd seen those people before. If you're in a party for the first time with somebody, you do get crystals for joining them. I guess I'll try one more time. I've probably taken too long in this video, like always, but you guys are already ready, used to that if you've been watching my Fantasy War Tactics videos. You know what? You'll just have to trust me. Oh, this guy's got the wrong weapons equipped. We have the same. I have the same. Like this weapon set. I also have the one that he's using, the Elucidator and the Dark Repulsor. The only reason I'm not using that one is because the element buff for having the same element equipped is great. Also, the third skill on Skill Connect Kirito is not water type. It's neutral, so it's only water if you have the water type weapon equipped to correspond with your type. I hope she picked one of the silicas has a heal. I'm pretty sure it's not the one she picked either, unless they both do. So this person is very pay to win, which is lucky for me. Those are the best partners. Okay, where's the other Kirito? I don't know what he's doing, but I really want to continue this combo. Ah. See, look, he's just sitting there derping with his skill because he missed completely. Alright, so what he should be doing, he's shooting the wrong direction now. Wow, he used 2 skills and missed them both. Okay, well, we might even lose this. Alright, so we're getting a huge combo here. We might actually be able to kill it up to 55, up to 60. When you get hit, it breaks your combo, but we're done. There we go. Alright, better than last time, surprisingly. Hey, it's not giving it to me. I don't know what's going on. Oh shoot, I want that aquamarine robe. Which one is it? You can pay 5 to unlock another chest, but you can only unlock 2. Please be this one. Oh, that blows. I'm paying. I'm paying the 5. Oh god, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. I should just pick the one closest to my thumb. Okay, well, apparently the game doesn't love me today, or I keep running into people that I've already played with the first time for, but you usually get crystals for doing parties. Anyway, I think that's really all I want to go over right now. So far, it's a pretty fun game. I've really enjoyed playing it. It's easy. It's easy to follow. It's fun to do, and I'm kind of an SAO fanboy. Other than the anime, everything I started watching the anime, but it was like I hate watching things that are ongoing. And then when I found out that they were novels, I read the novels, and they were amazing. And the anime was kind of shifted more towards the love story instead of any of the actual action going on. So it was kind of but still a big SAO fanboy. I love all the games, the PlayStation games, the PlayStation 4 games are amazing. The Vita games that are basically the same ones, they're just ported over. Anyway, hope any of the things that I said are useful. If you start playing the game, look me up. My information is this. Pretty soon, I'll show you in a second if this thing ever loads. And add me up. There's my user ID. Add me if you want.